how should businesses engage? Dave, if you could talk about what it means for a business to be on, just at a high level, we'll talk about some of the details later, but how should a
No,
business engage?
I think you just said something, right? So even just from a very high level, just be there, which seems like a 101 statement, but there's probably a lot of businesses out there that are yet to have their own TikTok channel or account, whatever. I think that it's funny. It reminds me a lot of when Facebook started. And I know Greg will probably laugh, but when social media first came into the agency, from a retailer's perspective, I think it becomes very easy to want to sell, right? I want to sell my product. I want to sell constantly. And I think what we see with TikTok and what we saw with Facebook with what gets engagement is, how do I play into what's topical? How do I give a peek behind the curtain? How do I use it for what it truly is intended for? And I think with TikTok, if you're approaching that, I think that's really where it needs to start. I think it needs to be a brand awareness component more than anything. This is something that we are going to do to get our brand out there. It's not necessarily this hard sales tool as far as here's my product, here's the price point, buy it. It's more of I think you get a sense of the type of business that you're going to be working with based on the content that they would create. But at the end of the day, if that's where eyeballs are going, you certainly need to have a strategy and have the right people on the team to help bring that through. Because again, that user generated content, that feel as opposed to overproduced is really, I think, what works so well on TikTok for businesses. So
Absolutely. And we'll definitely share some ideas as we go. And I think the comparison with Facebook is so important for us to talk about right now, because my history, my experience started on the automotive retail side. And one of the mistakes I feel like we really made as an industry was, one, waiting too long to adopt. Like, let's wait and see. But it's really that snowball effect, right? The people that are on and adopting faster and are able to be present, that snowball picks up speed and it just grows and grows and grows. And we've got this platform that's allowing nobodies to become somebody's overnight by just producing content and making it funny and interesting. So Gen Z is a big subsect of the population, but millennials are right there, which is one of the biggest spending populations right now, audiences. And they are looking, and they're reporting that they're looking for funny and entertaining content. So if we make the mistake that we made as businesses in early Facebook era of just putting sales messages on, I don't think we have the ability to pivot and sustain our brand the way that we were able to on Facebook, because people would just silence us and move on. But this is also an audience that is very, very vocal. So I think you really need to understand your brand message, who you are, what kind of personalities that we can use. So I'm excited to touch on those things as we move forward.